welcome back to A History of the Navy in 100 Objects, presented by the U.S. Naval Academy Museum. Today, we will be looking at a somber reminder of the traumatic experiences of American prisoners of war during the Vietnam War. This set of mementos comes from Captain Mike McGrath, a 1962 graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy. Captain, then Lieutenant McGrath, was a naval aviator flying missions over North Vietnam in his A-4 jet. Captain McGrath was shot down over North Vietnam on June 30th, 1967, and released 6 years later on March 4th, 1973. We are joined by Dr. Scott Hartmann, the former director of the Naval Academy Museum, for an explanation of how POW experience of the Vietnam era was so distinct.
It's an interesting situation that, unlike other wars, many of the POWs in Vietnam were officers. They were aviators who had been shot down. We have bracelets in this exhibit case with the names of William Lawrence and Senator John McCain, of course, before he was a senator. And these bracelets were distributed during the period of the Vietnam War to keep in memory of the prisoners of war who were being held in Hanoi and elsewhere in North Vietnam. This exhibit has the artifacts of, as I said, Mike McGrath, the clothing that he was issued, notes and memorabilia, things that he really should not have brought home with him. He managed to get out of North Vietnam when he was released.
Vietnam prisoners suffered terribly under harsh and brutal conditions. Torture was common, and disease and hunger were rampant. Isolated prisoners communicated amongst each other through secret tap codes, and many committed unusually brave acts of heroism. James Stockdale, another Naval Academy graduate and leader of POW resistance activities, was to be publicly displayed as part of a North Vietnamese propaganda campaign. To prevent this, he savagely beat his own face with a stool to prevent recognition. Later, having found out that he was to be further tortured, he slit his wrists to avoid giving up information that could implicate his fellow prisoners in resistance activities. Stockdale would rise to the rank of Vice Admiral after the war.
This is a very moving exhibit, and we feature here also the names of Naval Academy graduates who were kept in Vietnam long after they really wanted to come home.
This exhibit and these mementos express the perseverance of the human spirit in times of adversity. Although a dark point in American history, these men who were held prisoner during the Vietnam War provided some of the most inspiring stories of heroism and bravery of the 20th century. We hope that you join us at the U.S. Naval Academy Museum to learn more about the experiences of these men. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of A History of the Navy in 100 Objects.